Everybody's got an opinion. Every Californian and Virginian. It's so hard to tell who to trust and who to ignore. Someone's gotta settle the score. Trey and Chelsey will help you choose whose views win, which ones lose. Online haters are coming for you. Maybe it's time to review the review.
Hello.
Hi, and hello there. Welcome to Review That Review. We are the podcast that is dedicated to reviewing
Reviews.
That is Chelsey Donn.
And that is Trey Gerrald.
But you can just call us
the Review Queens.
That's right. But first, Trey, I'm dying to know. I can only imagine you might have a plethora of things you might want to complain about. But is there one particular complaint you would like to bring to the table? Trey, would you like to?
Lodge a complaint.
Why, yes, I would. Now, Chelsey, this might seem like a joke to you, but I do have written down my complaint is two-factor
Stop it.
What is the word? Authentication?
Authentication?
Authentication. Two-factor authentication.
No, it's not. You
It
liar.
literally is. No, it's literally written here on my paper. So, okay, behind the scenes, it's now an hour and 21 minutes later.
Oh my God.
We have been trying to record this episode and, pulling out. I hate constantly being asked for two-factor authentication. I hate it. Who do you think wants to get into my Gmail? Because I sign up for Greenpeace, and then all of a sudden, my email gets sent to everyone in the world. I get all these spam emails. No one's two-factor authenticationing that. But the minute I try to get into this app, it's like, hold up. We got to pull out all the Russian stops here to make sure that you can send me a text. I need to know that this is going to your email. You got to remember this 6-digit code. Then I also need to make sure you're not a robot. And we got to do got to click all the spots that have the bicycle in it. But sometimes the handlebar is in its own box. So I don't know if that's going to count. And then then I don't remember. And then it times you out. And it's too many attempts. You can't try again for 24 hours. What is all the security for?
I don't know.
I don't have anything interesting for anyone that wants to steal or look at anything. You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't need the two-factor. And now, my bank is you have to have two-factor. It's required. You don't get the choice anymore. But my face, what if someone stole my phone and had a picture of me? Could that just be my face with the Face ID with the map? I'm all over the map. I hate the two-factor crap. I hate it. I'm sure that it's protecting me in some sense, but I don't think it is because I sign up for, Temu, and then they send my email to every person in the world. And then all these spam companies are calling me and it's I don't have a student loan. I paid it off, thankfully. So you're not going to get me. But they get me with the two-factor. Chelsey, that's my complaint. I know you feel it.
You know I feel it. I mean, just scan my retina already, okay?
We're almost there, girl. I mean,
Can
they
we
scan our
just be
face.
there? Here it is. Clearly it's me. When you go to the airport now, they take a picture of your face so they don't need to rely on the TSA agent. We got to just do the same thing. It's clearly me. I'm trying to get in my email. There's going to be a variable on most weeks of a 10 to 15 pound difference. Other than that, this is me, folks. It's annoying. I hear you. Add it to the ledger.
Do you think we're going to reach a point where the two-factor isn't enough and it's going to be 3?
Oh my God. God forbid, Trey. I just hope we can reach the point where it's you just know it's me. Boom, boom, boom. You see me. It's me. And then if you're trying to get into my email, then that could be a separate thing where I have to two-factor you in. Okay.
But you know how the phones are so smart now that they know which app you're going to be used based on the location and the time? All of my game apps pop up as suggested
I think
apps.
that you want to do this now. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 10:30 at night, and it knows I'm going to be taking a bath and I'm going to play solitaire. So it knows. So how does it know that and doesn't need two-factor authentication for that? I can't even say it. I'm so mad.
I get it. I'm mad for you. I'm mad with you.
Let's move on. I'm so mad.
Whew, let's exhale
Chelsey.
that. I need a crystal. I need something. Okay, here. Just bring all the good energy into the room, okay?
Do you want to do the show?
Santo? Let's do the show. Let's move it.
Right.
Let's
jump into an online review.
Let's do it.
Review that review.
As your trusty review queens, we bring in reviews from the internet that we feel need to be inspected.
We read you a review, we break it down, and rate the impact of that review on a scale from 0 to 5 crowns. It's a really regal process that we call
Assess that 𝐬𝐻.
And Chelsey, I'm dying to know, what have you got for us today?
Well, not to get all cheesy on you, Trey, but let's go back. Cheese. I love cheese too. All right, we're going to head on over to good old Amazon. And this is going to be a 2-star review for the brand is For the Gourmet Sharp Provolone Picante Cheese Whole Wheel, approximately 11 pounds. Any guesses on price?
Okay, an 11-pound wheel of
provolone
cheese. I don't know that provolone is expensive. Provolone makes me think of Subway. But 11 pounds and then shipping, although people ship computers and cars. I don't know. I'm going to say an 11-pound wheel. It's probably like $68.
$157.61.
Wow. The picante is pricey.
Because must be the picante. All right, so this review is written by Russell S. 2-star review. Subject is competition disaster, in parentheses, oval. Okay, you're about to find out. Here we go.
Oh, no.
I am still recovering from this weekend when I was the laughing stock of the entire Mariposa County cheese rolling Rollapalooza. I purchased this cheese wheel as a last-minute replacement for my trusty 75 pounds pecorino wheel, which got defaced by local youths. Still, I was looking forward to chasing a lighter wheel down the hill. This would give me more dynamic control over the direction of the roll. On the morning of the competition, imagine my distress when, dressed proudly in my regional colors and nearly new cleats, I unwrapped the package to what turns out to be an oval-shaped cheese. This is not a wheel. Repeat, not a wheel. It is oval. Needless to say, you can imagine the rest, which was broadcast live on local TV and one internet channel. Note, the comments below the video are disgusting and defamatory. So why the 2 stars? As I bundled downhill behind the bouncing oval, arch rivals roaring past in mirth, some chunks dislodged, and the cheese itself was creamy and ripe. This is not a competition cheese. Avoid! If anyone wants it, I abandoned it, in rage, at the bottom of Greeley Hill, Mariposa County, on Sunday afternoon, from the 49 North, take the 132 East. It should still be okay.
Okay. So, it took me 0.8 seconds after the subject to realize, is this going to be a rolling cheese competition? Which I don't even know if I've ever even seen that existed in the world. But somehow inside of my head, I thought, do people roll cheese around?
Absolutely. I think I did talk about a documentary that I saw a while ago about the cheese rollers.
Tell me, I don't know.
This is just a sport that people do in various areas of the world where they roll cheese down a hill. I don't really get it.
Is sport the right word?
Are we the right people to be dissecting whether or not something is sport, Trey? I don't know.
I guess that makes me feel
you have to run. You have to run. You have to have.
I noted that.
Balance.
That's how like stupid people are like, oh, cheerleading isn't a sport.
Right.
Have you watched Cheer? Have you watched the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, American Sweethearts documentary? Because they are. Okay? Those are athletes.
Those are athletes.
Let me not be that. No, I wrote like chasing the wheel. Now, you've watched a documentary. You're very bon vivant when it comes to cheese sports. Do you push it with a stick, or do you have to be like on that cheese the whole time it's going?
If my recollection serves, you're on the cheese the whole time. You're rolling it. And I don't think you can you don't want to lose contact with the cheese.
Because I feel like, couldn't it like wobble over?
Certainly if it was an oval.
You know, I don't know why this keeps coming to my mind, but I remember when we moved to the Upper West Side, I really wanted an oval dining table. Something called an oval dining table is so much more elegant than a circle or a rectangle. The problem is when you are on those corners, you don't get the same. You don't get the same table setting. It's like real fucked up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a real disadvantage. And also, it doesn't roll an oval. A circular, like a wheel, right, rolls.
We all know this.
We all know this.
Everyone has an.
Everybody knows.
Every child gets an experience with a wheel, whether it's a little car, a bicycle.
Imagine trying to roll an oval, like rolling an egg shaped. Couldn't do it.
I mean, I guess you could roll it
if it was an 11-pound egg. But
the distinction here is that wheels or ovals of cheese are like, they're 3-dimensional, but they're like, it's not uniform. An egg is like, I want to say it's 3-dimensional. That I feel like you could roll it on the long side.
True. Good point.
But the dimensions of a wheel, in quotes, of cheese is going to be such that one side is going to be flat. Because it's not a circle. What is happening? It's not a sphere. It's not a sphere.
It's not a sphere.
Okay. We get it. We get it.
We get it.
There is a distinction between wheel and oval, but I've never heard an oval of cheese.
I don't think I've ever heard of an oval of cheese.
So
a barrel, a bucket of cheese. Sure, why not?
A barrel of laughs.
Barrel of laughs.
Yeah, I wonder if this
cheese
is
round. Shaved cheese.
Oh my God, you know those Baby Bells?
Yes.
With a little wax. Oh, I love that.
I mean, I like them too, but is that cheese? What is that?
You know, do you think this is false advertising?
For the Mariposa cheese festival?
For the gourmet
Do
company?
You think that not? I mean, nowhere in the subject, in the title, in the description does it say competition worthy.
Fair. But my question is it false advertising to call it a wheel if it's actually an oval?
Right, because it does say whole wheel.
Also,
maybe.
What good would it be in an oval? Because don't you have to cut it? But I guess if you're buying the whole shebang, it doesn't matter what shape it is. Because I'm just thinking like anytime you buy cheese for like a dinner party, it's like little pizza shapes. But
I mean, I would imagine you're buying this if you like have a restaurant where you're making like, I don't know, like Philly cheesesteaks. You need a lot of provolone.
That's my first thing. Hold on, we got to back up. Who's buying this much cheese from Amazon? Is it Amazon like fresh, or is this just Amazon that's been sitting in some factory?
This is straight up ducking Amazon.
But I guess that cheese is mold. Like aged cheese, but not provolone. Provolone seems so fake to me. I don't know cheese. I don't know why I'm trying to get into this conversation.
Cheese.
I want to talk here about the value.
Okay.
I think your point here, there's a big distinction because this is not purchased for consumption. And I would imagine the majority of cheese that's purchased is for consumption, not competitive sporting.
Do you think they eat it after the sport? Like if it's covered in wax?
I got to throw Russell under the bus once again here because they really lost me at the end. Now, I don't know how long shipping took because they didn't go into that, but you didn't open this until the day of the competition. That's on you, boo. That's on you. Because I would have opened it. I would have like investigated. I would have practiced a little. I would have looked at the rolling ability.
True.
And
I mean, the picture definitely doesn't look like a whole barrel. Like the picture looks like a half oval. Like I don't know. I can't describe it, but it doesn't look like a wheel. It does say wheel.
I know, but regardless, why didn't you open it when it arrived to make sure it wasn't broken or something?
I don't know. I feel like most of the cheese in the cheese ball competition have like that hard wax over it. You're not just rolling raw cheese.
Yeah, but wouldn't the wax be in the shape of the oval? You would know instantly.
You're right. Okay, so I think that this comes back to the truthful shadiness of it all. Now, I was like going back and forth on whether or not I think this is a real review or not, because I believe them when they talked about the like TV and the like
one
the
internet
live
channel.
One internet channel, like live broadcasting. I was like, okay, maybe this is real. But then when they like got to the point of like some of it fell off and I was tasting it, and if you want it, it's like take the 49 North to 132 East. Like, I don't know. This feels like a planted review.
That lost me a little bit too, because don't you know that any function, and I would certainly guarantee that sponsored cheese rolling competition, there's going to be protocol that you can't be littering. Otherwise, you won't be allowed back in the Mariposa thing. Like they'll be like, no, your contestants leave cheese everywhere.
The Mariposa County cheese rolling Rallapalooza.
They don't want to feed the Mariposa raccoons.
No. Clean up after yourself.
I don't know if it didn't seem fake to me, but now I feel very unsure. I love the description of proudly dressed. I don't think I've been proudly dressed a day in my life. Like,
yeah. I think they really want us to know or think that they take this very seriously, which I will attest from watching the documentary that people do take this very seriously.
But see, that I think undermines it once again to where I don't know that it's real, because if you took it that seriously, that you had almost new cleats, but you had a proudly dressed attire, you were ready to go. Why would you not test out the wheel? Right. And why are you like, if I'm playing football, God forbid, like I'm gonna have the football. Like, but then I don't know. Like, well, okay. But hold on. It keeps going back to like, but
it does say it was a last minute replacement for their trusty 75-pound Pecorino wheel, which got defaced by local youths.
But I don't know anything. But which then, see that? Like, what do you mean? How did it get defiled? How did that happen? Where was it? Was it in your house?
Was it
also,
in your
11-pound versus 75-pound. Also, we all know Provolone is smooshier than Pecorino.
Yeah. So Pecorino's a nice taut, tired, hard cheese.
I don't know.
Something feels odd here.
And wait, but my point here is like your first distinction here is that consumption versus competition. Like, is this common use for this purchase of the cheese?
I don't think so.
Should we hold that against the vendor?
I don't think so. Because again, it does say wheel, which I think that's a good point. But it doesn't say competition wheel.
Correct.
I don't know if any of them really do. Okay.
But it also doesn't say oval. What about spelling grammar?
Spelling and grammar was good. We obviously used some capital letters when we felt like particularly emphatic.
I mean, it is unique information. I don't know how valuable it is, and I can't distinguish the truthfulness. It kind of feels like I can't tell if it's true or shady.
Right. I think it's funny.
Oh my God, very funny. And
I was
highly
entertained. I was entertained.
Would
Any
it keep
thoughts
you from
on the
buying it? Well, if I was going to enter a rolling competition, I would have an impact.
I definitely would not be buying this after reading this review if I decided to join the Mariposa Rolla Palooza. That's a mouthful. That's like that's worse than red leather, yellow leather.
I mean, in Russell's verbiage,
Rolla Palooza.
In Russell's verbiage, it did bring me mirth.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can crown Russell.
I can crown Russell.
All right. So Chelsey and I each have our own set of 0 to 5 crown cards. In an effort to be fair and not influenced by one another, we will simultaneously reveal our rating.
The queens are tabulating. Total score.
Okay, I'm holding up 2 crowns. Trey's holding up 2.5 crowns. Trey, you go first by 2.5 crowns for Russell.
I don't know. I feel like, is it really unique? Yes. So get some points there. Entertaining? Yes. Humorous? Absolutely. Impact on either side of the scenario? Yes, there's impact. Because I can't tell if it's real or not. And I also have some personal questions about the integrity that Russell might have when it comes to his career of rolling cheese and actions I wouldn't have taken. I'm saying 2.5 because I don't know that if you're really entering these competitions, I would hope you would have, even as a last minute backup, you need to have something better than Amazon. Because we all know that if you just put all of your eggs in that basket, the dairy's going to be soured. I don't know what metaphor this is. 2.5, Russell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you were made fun of in the comment section. It's never easy. But 2.5, because I would need to read other reviews if I was looking for an 11-pound wheel oval of provolone. Why did you do half a crown less at 2 crowns?
Mostly because I don't know if Russell is being truthful. I gave him the 2 crowns for humor.
Yeah.
And that it was sort of like a funny review to come across. Other than that, I can't really give them points because I don't think that they're convincing me to purchase or not to purchase. I think if I were purchasing, I personally would probably be purchasing for a different reason, like cooking. And
Go
so go figure. And so for that reason, I can't really give them more than 2 crowns, but I am entertained and I want to go back and watch that documentary again and find out more about these competitors.
Yeah, I hear that.
2 crowns, Russell.
Where did you find this?
Okay, so I almost asked you this before, but any idea on how many likes Russell's review has? I found it on Reddit.
I imagine it has a lot, like 2,400.
Not that many. 336 people found this helpful.
Love it.
Great.
Good old Reddit.
Good old Reddit. Good old Russell. Well, thanks, Russell, for
funny
that
review. Thank you,
funny
Chelsey.
review. Appreciate you supplying that for us. And Trey, I think we've officially reached the most regal portion of our show, and I'm dying to know, Queen, who are you inducting for?
My Royal Highness.
Okay. I am very excited about today. I'm going to speak in general terms, but there is someone whose name starts with a D that Chelsey and I both know about. But today, I must induct hiring a professional. Okay? Now, I'm going to keep it broad because we all can relate. But I think it's time that we put on a pedestal. We move the spotlight. We finally standing ovation. We applaud 5 stars for hiring a professional. You know, I am someone who I like tinkering. I like doing crafts. I like putting things together. I'm very creative, and sometimes I'm more creative than my scope of knowledge. And I think true intelligence comes from knowing when to hand the reins over. And there's nothing more comforting than knowing, like, I need help and asking for it, and then compensating a professional for a job well done. I must have you all stand with me, and let's induct hiring a professional. There's nothing like, it's just like people who are committed to something for their lives that care about it. Just let them do it. Don't poo-poo around.
Don't poo-poo.
Don't poo-poo.
Don't poo-poo.
So for that reason, today I must induct hiring a professional for the needs that require it. Okay. You can get by for as long as you can, but just hire the people that do it. Okay.
Ugh.
So for that reason, hiring a professional is my Royal Highness this week.
I love that. Yay. Round of applause for the professionals in the room. Okay. If you're listening and you're a professional at something, just thank you for being the professional. We applaud you because it's like Trey was alluding to. We could be a little bit of control freaks, you know, but sometimes you got to stay in your lane. And sometimes having support from other people really makes all the difference. So to D, who Trey and I know, and all the professionals out there, thank you. I love it.
Well, we did it, Queen. That is another round. That's another oval on the 𝐟𝐸 Ferris wheel of being proudly dressed.
That's right. Thank you for joining us today. If you like what you heard, please tell a friend.
If you did not like what you heard, please tell an enemy. Everyone, this is very exciting. On today's after show pod that you can get exclusively at our Patreon, Chelsey and I are going to be rating a 1-star Google review for an Arizona lawyer.
Ooh.
Things are going to get legal.
Litigious.
So litigious. I have a story about the word litigious. So that's what we're doing on the after show.
I love that. So to find out why this was said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's like, I feel like it should be like this. Like, we'll come in and we'll start playing like a little jazz music while like people trickle in. And I'm like, there's no trickle.
We're here.
We're here. Oh, wow. I wonder why this was said.
I wonder too. Well, the only way to find out is to go over to reviewthatreview.com/Patreon. Now remember, queens.
Ignore the haters. You're a queen.
Gender non-specific queen.
No cheesing around.
Bye.
Sign up directly on Apple Podcasts to hear our weekly members-only after show. Unlock additional benefits when you become a Patreon member at reviewthatreview.com/Patreon. Follow us on all the socials at The Review Queens and join our mailing list at reviewthatreview.com. Our kvetch line is open 24/7 at 1-850-REVIEW-0. You never visit, you never write. Give us a call now. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Poor Russell.
Poor Russell. Do you think he ever showed his face in Mariposa again?
You know, now I'm really questioning if Russell was true or not. I really question it.
Maybe Russell saw the same documentary that I saw and then was like, I know.
He thought he would get crafty.
He thought he'd get crafty because now I'm noticing, actually, I didn't mention this on the show. I did get it crafty, like craft cheese.
KRAFT.
It doesn't say verified purchase.
Gag. We'll see you Friday's Queen. We'll see you on Friday, Queens.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, Queens. Click here to subscribe and click here for more videos.